Monday morning, and we always like to help you out with Don't Have a Meltdown Monday. And we're talking about hitting the reset button a little bit in your life, and it may include weight loss, or it just may include making healthier choices, the benefit of which is weight loss. Noel Koenke is joining us. She's with BeBalanced, certified natural, she's a specialist with BeBalanced. And you have a series of clinics, Noel, of BeBalanced hormone weight loss centers. And yet, when I dig a little deeper in the foundation of what you do, that's really not the end goal. I mean, the end game here is just overall health, is it not?
It is. And BeBalanced, we're a holistic approach to not just weight loss, but also natural hormone balance. And that affects everything: our mood, our stress, our sleep, how our metabolism works. And so we really look to provide a holistic approach to wellness, to be able to offer that for our clients.
Okay, so what's the first piece of advice for taking that first step? Because I know if you get to a point where you're not feeling good about yourself, it's related to your weight, your sleep, the stress level you're experiencing at work. I mean, sometimes thinking about that and all that's involved with where you're at in your life can be so overwhelming that you don't make a change at all. What's your advice for the first step to take to begin feeling a little bit better and then finding the motivation to do more?
Sure. I think the first is to understand that stress is something that we all experience. And we may even manage it well, but it is kind of sneaky because it does produce that cortisol effect, that stress hormone, that fight or flight response. Anytime we're having that shortened breathing or our heart rate is up. And so there's a lot of things that you can do to take that next step to get that under control, because stress really has a negative effect on our immunity, our mood, our sleep, our metabolism, our mental clarity and focus. So the first is, exercise, but you really want to go towards yoga, Pilates, walking. Those are activities that lower cortisol, whereas activities like HIIT workouts or running actually will increase that cortisol production. The other is natural supplementation. We all need a little extra help. And so at BeBalanced, we use a product called Soothe Stress. It's an adrenal support, and so that also helps with cortisol production, so we don't deplete our natural progesterone levels, which is really our body's natural fat burner, diuretic, sleep aid. It calms everything down. So those are a couple of the initial ways to start.
Yeah, so we tend to be a culture where it's all or nothing, right? It's we're going to the gym and we're doing it 5-6 days a week, and we're also on a diet at the same time, and we're drinking all this water, or we've given up entirely and we're just kind of barely making it through the day, and we're getting our energy from caffeine and so forth. Would you say for somebody who's feeling, again, that sense of overwhelmingness that comes with our feast or famine kind of mentality, just start by taking a walk at lunch every day, because then that releases those endorphins and then lends itself to mind clarity, and then you make better decisions?
Sure. Yeah, it's all about balance, and that's what we really want to focus on. Is those extremes of all or nothing are very difficult to maintain long term, and to really reduce stress and make those changes in our lives, they happen in very small steps and increments. And we're here to really help our clients do that in a very holistic and natural way. So even reducing that little bit of caffeine, because that overstimulates our nervous system, drinking more water, taking a walk, the benefits of just a little sunlight. We forget we're part of creation. We need that sun and water too. So those little things can definitely make a difference.
And one final thing, because I like how you mentioned caffeine, because if we reduce that and we end up sleeping better, then we don't need as much of it to keep going, and that vicious cycle is broken. But in terms of people just generally not beating themselves up, this idea of forgiveness, that if you're on a plan or on a program and you slip up, don't beat yourself up. What would you say to that?
Yeah, so my background is actually in spiritual care. And so one of the ways that I really help train our specialists is to use that compassionate coaching style. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, but we can use those as lessons to teach us to make better choices in the future. But being hard on ourselves really negates the self-care that we're trying to do, and we can't give what we don't have. So when we're really being compassionate and careful with ourselves, then we can also extend that to others and really present our best selves to the world.
Well, Noel Koenke, thank you. A lot of this stuff
so
seems to be common sense, but so many people tend to forget it, and we appreciate you being involved with our show this morning. You can go to BeBalancedCenters.com, and again, they're labeled as weight loss centers, but they really talk about overall health and well-being as it relates to reducing stress, getting more sleep, and all of that. Again, the benefit of that might be you begin to physically see a change as well, Jenny.